Have you ever trusted a stranger so deeply that, for a moment, you forgot who you were and who they were supposed to be? Jennifer never did. Trust was not part of her success story. She trusted balance sheets. She trusted contracts. She trusted systems designed to protect her billions. People, on the other hand, were unpredictable. Before we continue, let us know where in the world you're watching from. We love seeing how far our stories reach. Jennifer was a young billionaire CEO, someone the world admired from a distance. She had built her empire before the age most people were still figuring out their lives. Power followed her everywhere she went. That afternoon, the city was wrapped in light rain. Jennifer stepped out of her black luxury car, heels touching the wet pavement. Her long blonde hair was open, flowing freely down her back, shining even under gray skies. She wore a red satin-straped dress, elegant and bold, the kind of dress that made people turn their heads without realizing it. She had just walked out of a meeting where another multi-million-dollar deal was finalized. Applause, handshakes, smiles, all the usual signs of success. Yet inside, she felt nothing. As she walked toward the street, something unusual caught her attention. A young man with light beard stood outside a small grocery store. He wasn't asking for money. He wasn't calling out to anyone. He wasn't even looking at people passing by. He was holding a child's hand. The man's name was Jack. His jacket was old but clean. His shoes were worn down, yet neatly tied. His posture was protective, slightly bent toward the little girl beside him, as if the world might hurt her if he didn't stand close enough. The girl, Ava, held a small teddy bear. One button eye was missing, and the stitching looked rough, but she smiled brightly. Not the smile of someone who had everything, but the smile of someone who trusted the one person holding her hand. Jennifer slowed her steps. She didn't know why. Inside the store, Jennifer pretended to browse shelves, but her eyes followed Jack and Ava. Jack picked up only basic items: bread, milk, rice. Nothing extra, nothing unnecessary. Then he stopped. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a few coins. He counted them carefully, his lips pressing together in quiet calculation. Jennifer saw the moment his expression changed. Without saying a word, Jack placed one item back on the shelf. Ava looked up at him. "Daddy." Jack smiled instantly, forcing warmth into his voice. "Next time, okay." Ava nodded, completely trusting him. Jennifer felt a strange tightness in her chest. She had negotiated billion-dollar deals without hesitation. She had fired people without losing sleep. But this moment unsettled her in a way nothing else had. Outside, the rain fell gently as Jack and Ava stepped onto the sidewalk. Jennifer followed. "Excuse me," she said. Jack turned, surprised. "Yes, I saw you inside," Jennifer said carefully. "You didn't take everything." Jack smiled politely, a smile clearly practiced over years. "It's all right. We manage." Jennifer glanced at Ava. "She's beautiful." Jack's eyes softened immediately. "That's Ava. I'm Jennifer," Jackie replied. For a brief moment, neither spoke. Jennifer felt something unfamiliar. Hesitation. She wasn't used to acting without a plan. Yet something inside her pushed forward. She reached into her purse. When she pulled out her credit card, Jack's eyes widened. "Please take this," Jennifer said. Jack stiffened. "I'm sorry." "Use it," she continued. "For 24 hours. Jack stepped back, shaking his head. "No, I can't." "Why not?" Jennifer asked. "Because people don't give things like this without expecting something in return," Jack replied. "And I don't owe anyone." Jennifer met his eyes, steady and calm. "I'm not asking you to owe me." Jack let out a small, almost bitter laugh. "You don't even know me." "That's exactly why I trust you," Jennifer said softly. Jack stared at her. "People like you don't trust people like me." Jennifer's voice dropped. "Maybe that's why the world feels so broken." She pulled out a pen, wrote an address and a time on a small piece of paper, and handed it to him. "Tomorrow evening," she said. "Just return the card." Jack stared at the card in her hand, as if it were dangerous. "You don't understand what this could do to someone like me," he said quietly. Jennifer nodded. "Then show me who you are." Jack looked down at Ava. Ava whispered, "Daddy. She looks kind." Jack swallowed hard. He slowly reached out and took the card. "I won't disappoint you," he said. Jennifer smiled faintly. "I hope not." That night, Jack sat at their small kitchen table. The credit card lay between him and Ava like an unanswered question. "Daddy," Ava asked softly, Are we rich now? Jack smiled and shook his head. No, sweetheart. Then why does that card feel special? Jack thought for a moment. Because it belongs to someone who trusted us. Ava nodded seriously. Then we should be very careful. Jack didn't sleep that night. He knew the next 24 hours would reveal exactly who he was. Morning came. Slowly, Jack sat at the edge of his bed, staring at the credit card lying on the small wooden table. Sunlight filtered through the thin curtains of their apartment, casting soft lines across the room. Ava was still asleep, hugging her old teddy bear tightly, her breathing calm and steady. Jack hadn't slept all night. His mind wrestled with one question. What kind of man was he going to be for the next 24 hours? He picked up the card carefully, as if it carried weight beyond money. It wasn't temptation that scared him. It was responsibility. Jack looked at Ava. She trusted him completely, and somewhere across the city, a stranger trusted him too. Jack made a silent promise. He wouldn't waste either. After breakfast, plain toast and tea, Jack took Ava by the hand and stepped outside. The rain had stopped, leaving the city clean and quiet, as if it was holding its breath. Their first stop wasn't a mall, it was a clinic. Ava swung her legs nervously on the chair while the doctor checked her. Jack watched every movement, his hands clenched together. He had delayed this visit for months, always choosing rent, food, or school over medical bills. The doctor frowned while reviewing the reports. She's underweight, the doctor said gently, and these tests should have been done earlier. Jack nodded, guilt settling heavy in his chest. I know. He paid for the full checkup, blood tests, vitamins, medicines. When it was over, Ava hugged him tightly. Daddy, she whispered, I feel safe here. Jack closed his eyes for a moment. That's all I ever wanted. Outside the clinic, Jack looked at the card again. The balance was barely touched. He could stop now. He could finally do something for himself. But instead, he walked toward a bookstore. Ava's eyes lit up the moment they stepped inside. Shelves filled with colors, stories, possibilities. Jack watched her fingers brush over book covers she had only ever seen from outside shop windows. Can I look? She asked softly. Jack smiled. You can choose. Ava froze. Choose. Jack nodded. Pick what you like. She chose slowly, carefully. 1 notebook, 2 books, a small box of crayons. She didn't ask for more. At the counter, Ava held the bag tightly. Daddy, are these really mine? Jack crouched down to her level. Double quotes, yes. Every dream starts with learning. As they left the store, Jack felt something strange. Pride, not the loud kind, the quiet kind that comes from doing the right thing. By midday, Jack returned to their apartment building. He stood in the hallway for a moment, unsure of what he was about to do. Then he knocked on the first door. An elderly woman opened it, surprised Jack. She said, Is everything okay? He handed her grocery bags. She stared at them, confused. What is this? Food, Jack said simply. Her eyes filled with tears. But why? Jack smiled gently. Because someone trusted me today. He knocked on another door. A young mother with tired eyes and 2 small kids stood there. Jack gave her bags of food. She tried to refuse. I can't take this, she said. Jack shook his head. He can. And one day, when you can help someone else, do it. Door after door, Jack gave away groceries. Not because he had extra, but because he understood what it meant to have nothing. By afternoon, Jack and Ava walked past a small diner. The owner recognized Jack immediately. Haven't seen you eat in days, the man joked. Jack smiled faintly. His eyes moved to the diner's broken sign, hanging crookedly, letters flickering. How much to fix that? Jack asked. The owner laughed. More than you can afford, my friend. Jack reached into his pocket and pulled out the card. I can afford it today. The owner stared at him. You're serious? Jack nodded. This place feeds people when they're hungry. It deserves to stand strong. The owner's smile faded, replaced by disbelief. You okay, Jack? Jack smiled. I'm better than okay. That evening, Jack took Ava to the park. Children laughed. Birds settled into trees. The world felt normal. Jack bought Ava 1 ice cream. Just 1. She held it like treasure, licking it slowly. Daddy, Ava said, today feels different. Jack nodded. It is. They sat quietly. The sun began to set. Jack checked the time. Only a few hours. Lepta card still had money on it, but Jack knew he was done. That night, back in their apartment, Jack placed the card inside an envelope. He added receipts, notes, explanations. Not because Jennifer asked, but because Jack believed trust deserved honesty. Ava watched him carefully. "Daddy," she asked, "did we use the magic card right?" Jack smiled and pulled her close. "Yes, sweetheart, we did." Jack slept peacefully for the first time in a long while. Tomorrow, he would face Jennifer, and whatever happened next, he knew he hadn't lost himself. The cafe was quiet. Soft music played in the background, the kind meant to calm people who lived fast lives. Jennifer sat near the window, her hands wrapped around a cup of untouched coffee. She wore the same red satin-strap dress, elegant and striking. Her long blonde hair was open, falling naturally over her shoulders. From the outside, she looked like the woman who had everything. But inside, she was restless. She checked her watch. Jack was 5 minutes late. She told herself it didn't matter. People were late all the time. But this wasn't just anyone. This was the man holding her trust, her credit card, her fate. A part of her wondered if she had been foolish. Then the door opened. Jack walked in, same worn jacket, same calm eyes, same quiet dignity, no shopping bags, no new clothes, no sign of sudden wealth. Jennifer felt her chest tighten. Jack walked up to her table and sat down. Without a word, he placed the credit card on the table. Then he placed an envelope beside it. Jennifer stared at both. "You're early," Jack said softly. "I didn't want to risk being late." Jennifer nodded, unable to speak. "Here's your card," Jack continued. "And everything else." Jennifer picked up the envelope slowly. Her fingers trembled as she opened it. Receipts spilled out. Cliff spilled out. Bills, medicines, books, groceries, repair invoices. Her eyes moved quickly at first, then slower, then stopped. She looked up. "You didn't buy anything for yourself?" she asked. Jack shook his head. "No." Jennifer frowned. "Not even clothes? Food? Rent?" Jack met her eyes. "I've survived without those before." Jennifer swallowed. "Then why this?" Jack leaned back slightly, thinking carefully. "My daughter needed a doctor," he said. "She needed books. And there are people around us who need help more than I do." Jennifer felt a lump in her throat. "He could have changed your life," she said quietly. Jack smiled gently. "I did." Jennifer laughed softly, disbelief mixing with emotion. Jack glanced out the window for a moment. "For 24 hours, he said. "I wasn't poor. I wasn't desperate. I wasn't afraid." He looked back at her. "I was trusted." Jennifer felt tears rise before she could stop them. She quickly wiped her eyes, embarrassed. "I've given money away my whole life," she said. "Charity, events, donations, foundations." Jack nodded. "But I've never trusted someone like this," she continued. "I thought money showed people's true nature." Jack shook his head. "Trust does." Jennifer covered her mouth as tears finally fell. She stood up suddenly, turning away for a moment, trying to regain control. Jack remained seated, respectful, silent. When Jennifer turned back, her voice was different, softer, real. "You know," she said, "most people would have maxed out that card." Jack nodded. "I know. They would have justified it," she continued. "They would have said the world owed them." Jack smiled faintly. "The world doesn't owe me anything." Jennifer sat back down slowly. "You have protected my trust better than anyone ever has," she said. "And I didn't even know you." Jack shrugged lightly. "Trust is fragile. If someone gives it to you, you don't crush it." Cliff laughed, through tears. "For the first time in years," she said, "I feel small." Jack looked surprised. "Small? Yes," she said, "in a good way." There was a long pause. Then Jennifer took a deep breath. "Jack," she said carefully, "I don't want to give you charity." Jack tensed slightly. "I won't accept pity," he said. "That's not what this is," Jennifer replied quickly. "I want to offer opportunity." Jack hesitated. "What kind?" "I fund projects," Jennifer explained. "Community programs, food initiatives, education." She slid a document across the table. "I want you to run one." Jack stared at it. "Me?" he asked. "You," Jennifer said firmly. "You understand need? You understand dignity? You understand limits?" Jack swallowed hard. "I don't have experience," he said. "You have character," Jennifer replied. "That matters more." Jack looked down at the paper, then back at her. "What if I fail?" he asked. Jennifer smiled softly. "Then you fail honestly, and we try again." Jack took a long breath. Ava's face flashed in his mind. "I'll do it," he said quietly. Jennifer smiled, a real smile, not the one she used in boardrooms. Months later, Jack stood inside a small community center, shelves stocked with food, a reading corner for children, a small clinic room for checkups. Ava ran around laughing, holding a new teddy bear, this one with both eyes. Jennifer stood near the door, watching quietly, her blonde hair still open, her posture relaxed. No guards, no assistants. She had invested millions before, but this felt different. Jack walked up to her. "He didn't just change my life," he said. "He changed Ava's future." Jennifer shook her head. "No," she said softly. "You changed mine." She looked around the room. "I spent years thinking money made me powerful," she said. "You showed me that trust does." Jack smiled, and in that moment, both of them understood something rare, that real wealth isn't what you take, it's what you protect. If this story touched your heart, like this video, subscribe, and comment respect, because the world needs more people who value *** character over cash, and trust over temptation ***.